Hello everyone, my name is Brianna, but you can call me Bri. I'm a personal trainer and nutrition coach with a passion for bodybuilding. To everybody who is new on my channel, welcome. This is peak week number 1 for this season and also my 3rd year of competing into the NPC Wellness Division with the number 1 goal of making it to the professional leagues. Now I have filmed my last leg day before this first show and I am going to go over the footage with you. I'm going to explain what am I doing, why am I doing it, and if you would like to try out some leg days with me, you can head over to the description box of this video and over to my website. I am launching more things on my website, ways that you can get in touch with me in order to get coaching or for a consultation. You can also try out some free stuff that I'm going to have on my website, as well as this new subscription service that I will be launching. I have options for both male and female athletes who would love to get trained by me in a group environment as well as one-on-ones. Let's bring you with me to the gym and talk a little bit about this leg day. There we go. I am already at the gym, and normally I like starting my workout by taking a bit of time to warm up and activate. So you can catch me over here stretching my quads, just because for this last leg day before the show I chose to work on both quads and hamstrings. Normally I do them on separate days, but I wanted to work on a little bit of everything. So I'm stretching my quads and then I am getting into hamstring touches. This is something that I do quickly just so I can stretch and warm up my hamstrings. These are very spicy, by the way, if you ever choose to try them. I do about 15 to 25 on each side. And then I normally like stretching a little. This is one of my favorite stretches for my hip flexors, quads. I feel it in glutes and hamstrings. Overall, great stretch. Then after I am done with these basic stretches, I normally start working on one thing: windshield wipers. I use those for core. I use them for strengthening my rotation. I really need to twist when I am on stage. Plus I feel like rotation is great for everybody. We all tend to get a little stiff. I am so happy because in this shot I can really see my adductors. I've worked on those so hard and they're really not easy for me to develop. So I do about one set of 10 on each side or 20 total, and I try to also stretch my lower back with this specific exercise. And after that I grab a mini band, any mini band, and I get into some lateral walks. I do a set where I am almost standing up but arching my back. Normally I do about 15 to 30 steps depending on the day, and then I do a set where I am getting a little bit lower with my glutes. Again, 15 to 30 reps, steps, whatever you want to call them, for each side. And when I'm done with my warm-up, I head to the actual gym area and I start working on a mix of different things. Like I said, here we are about to start with this cable variation of standing hamstring curls, working one leg at a time, focus on moving through hamstrings. I am also keeping a hand on the muscle occasionally or throughout the entire set, just so I can make sure I am really moving through the correct muscles. And I do about 10 to 15 reps on each side for about 4 to 5 sets. After that, I get into dumbbell RDLs. I love dumbbell RDLs, and what makes me really sad is that currently during peak week my strength levels, or just in general the last couple of months of prep, my strength levels are fairly low. so I am only using the 30s, which, don't get me wrong, it's a great weight to use for a lot of people, but it's less than half of what I normally use. So my goal here with my 3 sets of 15 reps is to stretch hamstrings at the bottom of the movement, pushing my hips all the way back. If you need some tips on your RDLs or just in general on deadlifts, I do have a video on those. So stretching hamstrings on the way down and moving a little bit faster on the way up, squeezing through hamstrings and glutes and just getting a great pump in that posterior chain. After I am done with the deadlifts, I get to working on a different variation of hamstring curls, seated hamstring curls. Now, I would much rather use a machine for these, but the gym I had to do my last workout in does not have that. So this is a variation that you guys could also use in case your gym doesn't provide the specific machine. It's not as effective, I would say, but it gets the job done, especially if all you're seeking is a nice pump of your hamstrings. After that, I used the same machine and similar setup, but I am focused on working on some leg extensions, moving slowly and with control, pausing on top. Again, I like keeping one hand on the muscle that I am working on, or even two, depending on the muscle. So here I am focusing on squeezing through those quads. I only got into 2 sets of 20 reps. They were very spicy and I couldn't even go as heavy as I normally would because, again, super depleted, very hungry, feeling very weak, but just trying to hold on to as much muscle mass as I can. And after that, I move on to some good mornings, barbell good mornings. This is one of my favorite movements and I've loved it from far before I even got into bodybuilding. It's really important that you feel the same stretch in your hamstrings and a little bit in your glutes, I guess, also if you're able to feel those, as you would during a deadlift. I am only using the empty barbell, which is 45 pounds, and I'm focused on going a little bit slower on the way down, keeping a consistent pace for 3 to 4 sets of 15 reps. Then after this, I am continuing with some back extensions. With these, I would normally work on sets to failure, but today I only focused on 3 sets of 15 reps, slow and controlled on the way down, making sure I am squeezing my glutes and hamstrings on the way up and keeping my back in one straight line. I am really happy because I can really see the muscle development in my body in this exercise. I have worked so hard on lower body, specifically on my posterior chain, because my glutes and my hamstrings needed a lot of growing, and now that we are so close to show day and kind of leaner, we can really see it. The definition is there, the muscle size is there, even though I am depleted, which means I have not too many carbs in my system. I am really happy to see the progress that I was able to make in the last 7 to 8 months of building. And with this, I am moving on. I think the last thing we are doing for today is these cable kickbacks. Not doing too much. I am holding on with the opposite hand to my glutes so I can make sure I'm truly moving through the glute. At this point, I am super tired and already sore. It is crazy how difficult it is to work out when you are depleted. I'm doing 3 sets of about 15 to 20 reps per side, making sure I get a good glute pump, and pretty much wrapping up this last training session before the show, and headed over to the cardio section of my gym, where I am doing about 30 minutes on the bike. My cardio on leg days is lower compared to other days, and again, this day hasn't been too crazy in terms of weights or sets or reps because I'm simply so depleted, and everything that I am focused on during my last day of this, well, last leg day of this prep is to get a good pump, make sure I'm holding on as much as possible to that muscle mass, and just going home. That was about it, guys. It was a fairly short, took me only about like an hour to finish this workout. It was a great pump, although I've had far better pumps when I've had carbs in my system. It is not my typical day, like I mentioned. I prefer doing quads and I prefer having separate hamstrings and glutes days, but this was the last workout, last leg day before the show, and I wanted to make sure that I stimulate all the muscle groups in my lower body. So I pretty much hit a little bit of everything with light weights. I kept it to whatever my body felt like doing. When you are during peak week, you are very depleted, you are super exhausted, so it's really difficult to actually get an amazing workout in. Also, this leg day was about 6 days before my actual show because I tend to get extremely sore in my lower body, so I just don't want to head into the show feeling stiff and extremely sore because it is not going to be a great look on stage. So please let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this leg day? What is your favorite movement during leg day? And I'm going to catch you in the next video.